afternoon, everyone. Basically, I was like sitting there and listening to the entrepreneurs, those who spoke before me, and like talking about a lot of innovative ideas that they have been implementing. But I'll talk more about the challenges that they face, and so because they lack the infrastructure, because bigger companies they have a big team of professionals to help them. They can go for an IPR and they can do all the processes. But then again, the startup companies lack in terms of the required infrastructure that they have. So this is all about IPR, but don't worry, I'm not really going to bore you guys by reading the definition, but this is just for the formal startup that I would do here. All of us sitting here are intellectuals and they are like well aware of their own property. So IP and IPR, we are well aware of it, but the types, and even in the types I would not really read the definitions, but I would really like to talk about the important type of an IPR that basically doesn't get that kind of a focus nowadays, and then again it is prone for breaches, prone for theft. So database and the data that you really gather, we are working one of the innovative solution that caters to the public representatives, and then again it is heavily data driven kind of an application which lets you establish, connect with your own voters and lets a public representative manage their own work. It is innovative in a sense that it is heavily data driven, but it requires a lot of effort to gather data. And that is something which is the most critical and precious piece. You can gather data, but then again you have developers working with you, you have different people working with you, you have a server in your own premise. What if the data gets stolen away? That's really critical and the most precious piece. We have been collecting data and then again. So what happens is, you can file an IPR, you can get protected by law, but what about the other security extension that you need to exercise? Most of the people miss on that. One of the classic example is that your Aadhaar data. There was an attempt to steal away Aadhaar biometric data that you have been, that the companies have been collecting. But then again, human manages server, and then again you have database administrator and those kind of people, those who work on that, and then again it gets prone to data being stolen away. So this is really one of the important types that you should think about when you're working upon a data-driven kind of a application, or for that matter any innovative technology that you're working upon. The most critical types, and it requires security measures. So certainly this should be thought about when you start working upon any such kind of. There was an attempt to steal away Aadhaar data. That's really critical, and very less people are aware of it, that what if the biometric data gets stolen away. It may have really big consequences going forward. Level of IPR awareness in startups. Basically what happens is, even I am a technologist. I've been doing technology since more than 14-15 years. I've worked with different companies across the globe, and then again I've implemented a lot of things. But there is a mental block for the technologist. They are too technical in their thinking that they get engrossed in their work, they are working on their product, talking about the product day in, day out, and they think about the product. They sleep product, they get up with the product, and they talk about the product. This is too technical of a thinking. So even I would not really have the belt of mind wherein I'll think about the IPR processes, I would really go and search about it, and then again try to file an IPR for it. So that's one challenge that we face. Lack of infrastructure and skilled personnel in our team. So basically, if in case I am running a startup, I have a limited amount of fund available, infrastructure available, right? And then again, lack of awareness in the legal procedure attached to it, that's certainly there. Lack of awareness about its benefits going forward. That's a big piece, and that Mr. Raghu talked about that. If in case you get covered with an IPR, you can really reap big benefits out of it. But at the very start, you really miss upon realizing that you can really get benefited in a big time going forward. What if your product really becomes successful? if in case you have an IPR with you and you have gone for that kind of a patent, certainly it can help you from others exploiting the same thing and getting copied. You thought an innovative idea, you implemented it, you did all the efforts, and the other person just copied it. You did not even had the IPR for it, and then again. So does the product, and the last point that I would want to talk about, when you become an entrepreneur, you talk about the startups, you talk about the product. What happens is lack of self-awareness, and even does my own product qualify for an IPR? Am I really doing something innovative? Am I really doing something good that I should go for an IPR? There are like a lot of fight that you do with yourself. That does it really worth enough? You think a lot, right? So that is one thing that's there with the startups that I felt and have worked with a lot of other friends, those who are doing that. The one good thing that I would like to talk about is government is keen on nowadays pushing for the IPR, spreading awareness, and then again helping a lot of people. So CIPM is one of the organizations that I would like to talk about, which is working pan-India level, including tier 2, tier 3 cities as well, and even the rural areas. There's a big time misconception among the people nowadays that IPR is something more relevant to startups, that to technology startups and softwares. So if in case you talk about innovative idea, oh, software techie guy. It's more relevant to it. But what about where sitting in a village in India and creating innovative medicine out of the turmeric and just mixing the basic spices that's there in your home? And really effective. So he's not going for the clinical trials, he's not going for an IPR, and that knowledge is getting diminished with time. We have been world leaders, but in the last 300 years we have been lagging behind. Just because the lack of the knowledge that we want to patent it, we did not document things well. And now the other Western countries have taken away, they're like moving ahead than us, way ahead than us. So it is because of the lack of structure for documentation and things of that sort. So that needs to be done. Government is pushing for it, and then again they have given really good targets to CIPM organization wherein they are like pushing for it. And so I would like to share a bit of a data that would tell you about that the patent filing is increasing with time. It's a positive sign. And it's a EPO data, that's European Patent Organization data, and we should be happy about it that it is increasing with time, and even the culture in India is increasing for going for an IPR. That's a good sign. Upward surge in the patent filing in India as well. So there is some data that is there in front of you wherein there was an increase, 10% increase in filing for it, and then again the 6326 patents were granted. The above statistics shows that the facilitation and the promotional efforts by the government of India is showing an effect, and it can be taken even further, mainly for the startups. That's a good thing, and we should be appreciating it a lot. Challenges in going for it. So timing is important, commercial viability is important. Most of the innovative ideas, why did they fail? Not because they did not work, but because you were not able to realize the commercial worth out of it. That is why most of the technology can be demonstrated to do your homework well. So that is what the failure is. 80% of the failure happens because that you are not able to realize the commercial wealth of the concept that you are working upon. Challenges in going for it. So primary I already talked about. Primary reason for failure, many patent inventions has been failed not because they did not work or they have been invented before, but inventors was not able to exploit them commercially. And lack of internal support, structure, startup individual inventions. So you can go for a team or maybe even take the help of the other organization if in case you want to license it out to them. Already talked about it, not limited to trade, technology, geographical location. So IPR is certainly not about that only a techie guy can go for it. It is relevant to even other trades as well. One of the classic examples to support above this statement is Ayurveda that I already quoted. And then again, there are like some useful links that you can go and search about. and visit them. So that's going to give you a fair bit of an idea how to go for an IPR and the procedure attached to it. And these are like really innovative, these are like really informative things that you can visit and read about it.
Mahesh Kulkarni to present the certificate of appreciation to Mr. Amit.